That does not bode well for my drive up to Vermont today. Yikes. Definitely gonna need this with me today. Picking up a mobile order for Brian Miller. Thank you. I never imagined I'd be driving to my last magic show. This is bringing me back. Driving through a freaking snowstorm to get to a college magic gig. This was like the entire first 10 years of my career. And among so many reasons that I'm retiring from college magic, this is one of them. Tonight's gig is at the Vermont College of Technology. Am I getting that right? The Vermont Technical College. Be at the school by 4 o'clock. The gig's at 7:15, which means I need to do a load in at about 5:30 for setup, sound check, and everything. Before I actually do my load in at 5:30, I need dinner. I actually have a coaching call to do. Literally, I'm gonna do it as a call instead of a Zoom. So it's like the snowstorm has made this a longer, more difficult day. Having said that, it's also very pretty. Feels like Christmas a little bit. Yeah. I got a map from these lovely ladies. I got a map. She pointed me, and then I asked, are there any restaurants you recommend? And man, this must be a small town in Vermont because they were having a really hard time thinking of restaurants that would be open. Even though it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, and they couldn't think of a restaurant that would actually be open. And it turned out one of them that they thought of was not open. It was closed. So I'm gonna go find the building, make sure I know where I'm going, and then head into town to find one of the only 3 restaurants that may be open. I said, are there any restaurants you recommend? She goes, well, there's McDonald's. This reminds me of the Depot in my college town, a local restaurant that only locals and townies know about and that the college kids don't. Hello.
How's it going?
All right, how are you?
Pretty good. Patrick, nice to meet you.
Patrick, great to meet you too.
Check, check. All right, Brian.
Test 1, 2. Wow. Hello.
Lower.
Check. Well, I mean, definitely if this is how many people are going to be here. No, I mean, if you're thinking 30 people, I can't imagine it needs to be any louder than this. So, yeah. And you'll be here, right?
I'll be right here.
So, yeah, so if for some reason this isn't loud enough, like we pack it out all the way to the bathrooms, then we can turn it up a little bit.
All right. I think you said you texted me the information.
I did.
Okay.
Are you going to be filming this?
Yeah, I'm going to just zoom it out.
Okay, how's this? Good evening, ladies and gents and people on Zoom. I'm Jay Wills, student athlete, part of student activities. Tonight's performer is an author, speaker, and magician. He has shared his magic and message on 5 continents. He was recognized twice as one of America's best performers, and his TED Talk has been viewed 3.5 million times. Please give a welcome to Brian Miller!
No, we could just listen to that. We could just do the show like this.
Yeah, let's go.
Why not?
Jay Will.
That's how I'm gonna do it. Brian Miller!
As I took the stage, I thought about that 16-year-old kid sitting in his bedroom doing card tricks in the mirror, dreaming of one day making it as a full-time magician. I thought about the empty rooms and lackluster applause, the high of getting my first industry showcase in front of hundreds of potential buyers, and the low of bombing it, leaving with nothing to show but a bruised ego and a hotel bill I couldn't afford. I thought about the post-show adrenaline-fueled sleepless nights in crappy motels in college towns across America, tossing and turning about every joke that had fallen flat that night and every trick that had failed to produce amazement, wondering, am I ever going to be good enough? Should I go back to school? Were my parents right all along? But in the darkest, quietest moments, I clung to the words of legendary British mentalist Darren Brown, who said, "You are not a juggler, nor a mere amuser of the middle classes. You are a magician. And the main task of that wonderful job is to lift people out of themselves." And then, finally, I began to lift. I crushed my next few industry showcases and gigs started rolling in. Night after night, plane after plane, stage after stage, I was getting rave reviews in college newspapers nationwide. My success in the college market gave me the springboard to cross over into the corporate and private event markets, where the money and accommodations were far superior. Eventually, I was invited to speak about my success as a magician on the TEDx stage, and when that video went viral in 2015, my life changed overnight. In time, I became a speaker who used to be a magician, rather than a magician who sometimes speaks. The gradual but relentless marching of time changes all things. And I fell out of love with magic. Well, not with magic, but definitely with professional magic, the business of magic. And so in 2019, I announced my plan to phase out magic from my schedule altogether. And in early 2020, I had just a few contracts left to fulfill. And then, well, we all know what happened next. The world fell apart. The live event industry disappeared overnight. My wife was pregnant with our first, and after 15 years, suddenly I had no way to make money. So when the request came in from a college campus for a virtual magic show, I took it out of desperation. And just like that, I was a magician again. For 2 years during the pandemic, I performed dozens of virtual magic shows, right alongside virtual speaking engagements and workshops and webinars. And it was a blast. But now, in 2022, it's time to say goodbye, for real, to focus completely on my career as a speaker, a TED-style speaking coach, and a consultant. And of course, my new role as a father to an incredible 18-month-old toddler. And so, again, I retired from college magic, quietly and without fanfare. And this gig, in an empty dining hall with 20 or so kids on a random Tuesday in the middle of a snowstorm in Vermont, just happened to be the last contract on my calendar. End of an era.